Hello there everybody, welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video. Join us again on the Riviera line, and here is a fair good sight. This is the class 166. It's one of the oldest trains in Train Sim World, or at least one of the oldest UK trains in Train Sim World, and we're going to be driving it to Paignton. So we're all set up. I'm just going to make sure that goes on the front. Okay, Paignton. It does say Paignton on there. They're doing it on the front now? Oh, that's weird. Maybe not. How do we change it to Paignton? Maybe the destinations aren't working at the moment, potentially. Paignton, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, it is on there. Hang on. No, it is on there. It's just really, really, really faint. As this is an old train in the game, so it has the old lighting. Right, let's get the doors shut. We're all stations to Paignton on this sort of early morning bash. Hang on, my keyboard, it is on. Why are we not, Right, let's go. Cool. Yeah, this is the oldest, or one of the oldest UK trains in the game, on the newest UK route in the game. So it is quite sort of cool driving this on here. And there's the HST there, which also comes from Great Western Express. Again, if you want to see the 166 on this route, you do need to have Great Western Express. Same with the HST. And they layer onto this route. At least on PS5 and Xbox and PC, or Xbox Series and PC. Not sure about PS4 and Xbox One. You might not see them on there. So Exeter St Thomas is next. It's going to feel weird driving this because you haven't got any announcements. Whereas on the new trains, the 150, 802, Voyager, you've got the announcements. For this, you don't. I've seen a lot of people saying it's quite hard to go back to the old routes now because you don't have the announcements. And also, it will be our first time stopping at Exeter St Thomas. And Marsh Barton, which I believe we stop at, and Dawlish Warren. We've still not stopped at any of these stops. So we can finally tick it off. We're running at the moment. 60 FPS. Good. Right, we'll get up to about 40 and then we'll just coast it round into St Thomas station. As yet, not sure where the stop markers are going to be, as we've not stopped here before. Well, it's not on this version of the route. Should have a nice sunrise as well once we get down onto the coast. Sort of a perfect time of the day. Not too dark, not too light, sort of just right. Here we are, this is St Thomas. You've got a little hump there in the middle for the accessible area. We are 3 coaches, I believe, in the 166. And here we are. This is Exeter St Thomas. Lovely. On time, good. And you can see the accessible area is almost level boarding. Yeah, almost level boarding, which is cool. And yeah, Marsh Barton after this, which is sort of just down the hill. The door's shut. And let's go. But how's everyone getting on with Train Sim Mod 6? Are you enjoying it? And on console, have you got all of your DLC installed? Actually, it does take a little while, depending on how fast your internet is. I think my DLCs took about 9 hours to install. And that's about 400 or so gigabytes. And we're off. Oh, okay, let's not do that. Well, that's that question answered. Is the cab door part of the interlock on this train? No. But it's not in the game. Marsh Barton is the newest station to open on this route. Only opened in, I think, spring 2023. So it's a very new station to sort of serve this industrial estate just here. So that's not too much further along. Cool. So we'll get up to about 45. Let's coast. I guess not too much further. I don't really want to be flying through it. I imagine at this time in the morning though it would be nice and quiet. You probably have under 10 people. I can't imagine that this time in the morning going towards Paignton it would be busy. A nice quiet journey. Here's Marsh Barton. And after this station we do have a bit more of a gap. Probably the biggest gap actually on the journey down to Starcross. There you go, first time stopping here. Again, where does it want us to stop? It looks like we're going down the end. Seems that way. Here we are, Marsh Barton. Gateway to the Riverside Valley Park. That's, so it's either the industrial estate or a nice little park here. 4 to 5. Where's the 3 car stop marker? Didn't see a 3 car stop marker.
Great Western Railway service to Paignton, Teignmouth, Starcross.
I mean, there is one.
Dawlish, Teignmouth, Abbot, Torre, Torquay.
No, there is no. This is hidden. No. No stop marker. Well, at least for 2 to 3 car stop. So it's just down the end. Right, get the doors shut. Hopefully audio's been okay. And Starcross will be next. Which I think is also our first time stopping there as well. So lots of stations were ticking off of this run. Nice. What is the service pattern for Marsh Barton? Every hour? Every half hour to begin with, and then looks like it goes to every hour. What about this way? Oh, that's going that way. On the up, it actually has got a better service until about 10. Which I suppose makes sense as you have people commuting into Exeter. Again, hopefully lighting looks alright. Hopefully it's not too dark. So our top speed is, what, 90? Yeah, 90 miles an hour. So we can actually go faster than the 150. Although I feel like the acceleration's a little bit slower on this one over the 150. I doubt we'll get up to 90. Although it would be nice if we do. But I doubt it. I noticed that we do have the 166 on this route, as I think it was only a couple of years ago when this route is set, the 166s and 165s started coming down to Devon, as they replaced the, was it the 143s, and I think some of the 150s they've replaced. Yeah, nice to see it on here. To be honest, in general, it's nice to have Great Western Railway back. You know, one of the original brands for Trains World in the game are now back on a new route. Probably one of the most scenic Great Western routes. Cool. Question for those of you who know train diagrams and stuff. If you're, well, yeah, what depots do you have down this way? I assume there must be a driver's depot at Exeter. So if you were a driver at Exeter, what routes do you assign? And same for Plymouth. Plymouth and Exeter, what routes do you assign? I assume that the only driver's depots, unless Paignton has one. Yeah, what routes would you assign at Exeter and Plymouth depots? I suppose Plymouth, it must be all the way to Penzance and probably up to Exeter with all of the branch lines. I got about 76 miles an hour, so we are going faster than what you are allowed to do in the 150. As in the 150, the top operating speed's 75, so ideally you shouldn't go over that. Whereas in this train it's 90, so we're allowed to go faster. This gorgeous morning as the sun comes up. Yeah, I suppose the sun, we should start seeing the sun once we get to the coast, which will be nice. So we'll see that coming up. .85 miles per hour, so we should we should have the warning board shortly for the 70 or 75, that will be coming up soon. We've actually managed to get up to 86 miles an hour, I'm impressed. There's a warning for the 75, so let's pop that down, which isn't much further along. Yeah, quite impressed with that. So we may have made up that 30-second lateness we had. As I'd imagine the timings probably are based off of Class 150 services. Which again, they only go up to 75. So not as fast. That's a 75. One thing which would be nice to see in future, I doubt we will see it, but it would be nice, is if the Exmouth branch, or the Exeter to Exmouth line got added. As then you could do the full run from Paignton to Exmouth, which I think is about an hour and 40 minutes or so. I wonder if they'll add that in future. Would be cool. I doubt it though, but would be cool. So the full Riviera run. Lovely. And as expected, it does look glorious as we follow the water's edge. Nice calm water. Also, the sea don't look too bad. It doesn't look bad. It looks better than what it would have been had they not updated the water. It would have just been sort of still, which obviously the sea isn't particularly still. So they've done a good job with that. Right, we're now coming up to Starcross. Your marker for it really is the massive pumping station, or ex-pumping station building, which looks a bit like a church. Here we are. Still yet to do this route in the rainy conditions. I don't know if the sea would be slightly different. I don't think there is like a sea system, so if you do like rain, wind, I don't think you will see the waves coming up onto the tracks. I mean, it would be cool, but I don't think that exists. But we'll definitely have to do it in choppy conditions soon and see if it does change in any way. Get the full Riviera experience. Right, I guess we're just down to the 4 to 6 again at this one. Not sure if there are missing stop markers or generally just you don't have a 2 to 3. Alright, this is Starcross. We are on time as well, or near enough on time. And up next is Dawlish Warren. Get a little shot there of the train whilst we're here at Starcross. Again, lovely to see. Also, has anyone had blurring issues on this route? If you've got your layers on console, have you had the blurry textures? Haven't noticed it so far on this run, but in the Voyager, on the stream we did, I was getting issues where the textures were blurring, which is the memory leak issue. Nice. Oh, lovely. There's a Voyager talking of one. Off it goes. Again, funny to think the oldest TSW train for UK stuff, and then on the newest route. It's like, what a change throughout those years TSW has seen. And then soon enough, Great Western Express, which is the Paddington to Reading route, will actually be getting a remaster. So sort of be the cherry on top of the cake. There you go, look at that. Oh my god, look at that. We've literally picked the perfect time of day. Let's get another shot. That is literally perfect. I think that's actually where I got the 150 thumbnail, or 150 video thumbnail as well along here. Let's get a few shots. Because that sun is in. Oh yes, there we go, we're getting that. Can we try and sort of focus on the train a bit? Oh, there must be something we can do there, so we can also sort of have the train not. Let's do it manually. Yeah, look at that, that's nice. Get one like that as well. Wow. That is nice. I think we can all agree that is a pretty good sight. Right, let's get back to it. Double yellow. Again, there is approach control. I don't know why I keep saying again, but there is approach control coming into Dawlish Warren. Right, I'm gonna get another shot. All right, I'm sorry, but we'll get another photo quickly. There you go. That looks a bit better now. As we sort of come round the corner a bit, that sun looks a lot. Look at the colours, especially with the orange of the autumn as well. Looks absolutely stunning. There we go. Right, there we go. That's it for now. I think there must be another. I think Dawlish Warren has approach control, so there should be another signal before we then get the junction indicator. There it is there. So we can sort of still go fairly quick for now. See the fun fair coming up. One of the prettiest runs I think we've done on TSW for a long time. That sun coming up there. Wow. Plus also, yeah, the way we've set this in autumn as well, so you sort of got the orange of the trees and then the orange of the sun coming up. Really, really, really pretty. Here's a lovely red light here. That should clear, but obviously we can't assume it will clear, but it should. Or maybe actually, there we go, great. That is approach control. Basically slows you down for the points to ensure you're not going way too fast across them. Is it 25 or so? 20 or 25? Not been across here before. 25, I believe. for going about that. So across we go into Dawlish Warren. Hardly any track joint sounds in this train. The passenger lights on. Should be on. That doesn't really like the lights are on. Make sure they are on for when we get into the tunnels. Let's press that. Oh, not sure if they were on before or not. Or just in a dim bit. Right, this is Dawlish Warren. Maybe right down the end here. Must be, yeah, because you've got the entrance down, or the entrance / exit at the end. Usually you can tell where stop markers will be situated by where the entrance exit is. Is that one of those? No, I think Hentis Rail mentioned this. You can't actually walk between the platforms here at Dawlish Warren. You have to teleport to the other platform. Which is, you know, not great. Hey, we're on time, it's lying. Yeah, you have to teleport to the other platform. The hell, can you do it in the camera? It'd be nice if you sort of walk down there, then cross. But no, you can't. Right, Dawlish next. So far, been a nice run. We're about halfway, no, less than halfway through. I think it's about 56 minutes this run. So if this was like a non-new video, I'd probably split this into two. But as it's sort of TSW6, it's new, I'll just do one big video as it's quite fun. The fun fair's open early. It's like 6 or something in the morning, and the fair's open. Cool to see that it is animated though, and at night time it lights up. In fact, you can see some of the lights are still on. It's no, really nice. Makes it feel alive. That sun though. Wow. Very, very nice. This is what was this one? So 5 or 4. What's this? What's this service? If you 2 Tango 04 if you want to drive this service yourself, which I would recommend because look at that. And I've set this on October the 1st. Yeah, October the 1st. 2 Tango 04. Because I mean that just looks incredible. And now see the sun gleaming onto the sandstone rocks. What a beautiful, beautiful run. Even look down there, the sun sort of beaming down onto the rocks. I think probably the prettiest run we've done so far. Yeah, the calm of the sea. Peaceful, isn't it? But it's very relaxing. I mean, this sort of sums up the relaxedness, or sort of how relaxed TSW can be. Nice, quiet, peaceful morning service. Sun's coming out. Travelling on the sea here along the coast. Relaxing. What more could you want? And we're not going at like a breathtaking speed either. We're only going about 45. We're not like 100 miles an hour along here, which I suppose adds to how relaxing it is. And we're not going too quick. Now we're now coming up to Dawlish. Right down to the end of the platform here. Just got the instrument lights on because we will shortly be going into the tunnely section of the route. So it'd be good to see the speedo. And step 1 brakes at the moment. As we come in, there's the new accessible bridge here at Dawlish. I think that was only a recent addition, as the platform used to be skinnier and more exposed to the elements. I mean, 10 years ago, or 10, 11 years ago down this way, in 2014, you had some really bad storms, which washed some of the track away, or some of the seawall. And if you look at videos of the waves crashing over, like literally, it crashes over onto the platform.
Torquay and Paignton.
It says we're late, even though we're on time. Well, I suppose we should be wheels moving already. Going as fast as I can. We'll go full whack, why not? I want to get another shot again. No, we should be alright, let's not get another one. Got the big, sort of, the new seawall in the way here. There we go, slowly accelerating away. I think the 150 definitely has better acceleration than this. And into the first of a few tunnels, as we follow the coast along. Look at that though, wow. In fact, we are going into photo mode again. I want to try and get the sun. Let me try and get this way. No. What I was thinking, I don't think it's going to work. No. Gorgeous though. Right, Teignmouth up next. And after Teignmouth we then sort of follow the River Tyn. We sort of follow the estuary of that up into Newton Abbot. You sort of go inland a bit before then coming back out. The 802. 60 along this bit. And then we'll go up to 75 at the other end of this tunnel. Although there ain't much point of speeding up to 75, because it then comes back down to 60 quite soon. Lovely, 75. So we'll keep it in power, but we won't try and speed up too much. Because you get the warning for the 60 already. One annoying thing at the moment, you can see the hills still loading in over there. Hopefully they can sort of maybe improve the loading distance of the hills there. See a massive gap there. Obviously looks a bit funny. And then coming up round here will be Teignmouth. That won't be too much further along. In fact, oh sorry guys, I'm going into photo mode again, just to get a shot like this, sort of as we go along the edge. Just a quick one. It's hard not to when you've got the sun in that perfect position. Looks delightful. Right, we're coming into Teignmouth. So when you get past that 60, whack it in to braking. This is actually the platform here, but this is, I suppose, sort of the disused part of the platform. It's a really, really long platform. I don't think we're right down to the end here. I think we do stop before the end of the platform. Yeah, there it is there, 2 to 3. Quite far back actually. And here we are. Welcome to Teignmouth.
Route 626. Direct Western Railroad service to Paignton, calling at
Lovely.
Abbot, Torre, and Paignton.
We are clawing back a few seconds. Are they going to get on? They got to be quick because we're about to go. Well, guys, get on quickly. Closing doors. Oh, just gave up. No, got embarrassed and walked away straight away. Right, a bit of a gap now to Newton Abbot, and also another fast bit as well along here. Has anyone driven this route Hudless yet either? I'd really recommend this route Hudless. And it's not that hard of a route to learn Hudless. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the hardest route. It's quite a fairly straightforward route to learn Hudless, especially between Newton Abbot and Plymouth, which is an absolutely huge section of the route. But there's only 2 stations, Totnes and Ivy Bridge, and the speed doesn't change much. It's basically 60 the whole way, apart from 55 in a little spot where you get warning boards for, and if you're coming into Totnes, you've got to slow down to come into the platform, or come into the loop. So yeah, get the HUD off on this route and see how you get on. Comment below, how did you get on? And yeah, HUDless really does elevate the game experience, really does put the simulator to work. This train obviously, of course, doesn't have the suspension. It does have the head sway, but not the suspension. So we are missing out on that for this run, but hey ho. Yeah, get the HUD off and see how you get on. You'll probably enjoy it. There's the 80. So we've got about 23 minutes or so now to Paignton. We sort of got to go up to Newton Abbot and then back down. So we sort of got to be on that side of the estuary, but we sort of go round and down. And on this specific train we don't have to worry about any faults, as it's one of the old trains. Only the Trains Mod 6 trains, some of them which have faults which work. This one doesn't have faults. Cool. And about 65. You can see the difference in the water they've used. That here's this side, which I suppose is a bit of a lagoon or whatever, and then this side here, which has the sort of waves coming in. Sort of the difference between the still water and the sort of estuary / seawater, which has a bit more ripple and movement to it. At about 74 miles per hour. When I look at the replay, it doesn't look that fast. Although when I'm looking at my screen, it's like, oh, okay, this is quite quick in the 166. Like, it always looks slower looking at the replay. And it'll come down to 60 shortly. I believe there is a warning board for it as well, which is probably that this AWS magnet is here. There you go. Right, start coming down to 60. And we should have the approach control coming into Newton Abbot as well. Right, I'd assume we'll be coming into the loop platform. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe we're not. Most of the services down to Paignton come into this side platform. Sort of gets you off the main line, but considering we haven't got a yellow at that signal, we might actually be coming into the main line platform and then coming across at a later point after the station. That's a first. And just coast it. Well, we still have got a double yellow. Although this will probably be for the platform starter signal. So the signal at the end of the platform. And on this part of the route you have double aspect signalling between Newton Abbot and Plymouth, as it's there's not, well, yeah, you only get single aspect signalling. So you'll get like a single yellow, red and green. You won't get double yellows on that bit. You got 150 in there at the moment. Well, this is Newton Abbot. Where are we stopping? Where are our markers? There it is there. Cool. If anyone's found any good services for this route where you chase yellows or follow another train, do comment below. Well, you've almost got to stop on the AWS magnet here. I'll stop a little bit before that stop marker.
Western Railway service to Paignton, calling at Torre,
Yeah.
and Paignton.
I'll stop a little bit before that because you can't stop on these. If you stop on that, you're going to get an AWS magnet stuck on. Actually, it'll be alright now. But yeah, you shouldn't stop on over these magnets, or at least the driver's cab shouldn't be on them. And we're back on time as well, which is good. Professional driver. Here at Newton Abbot Liquid Bean Cafe. Nice. Yeah, lovely station, Newton Abbot. Very nice. Very high canopy to it as well. That one's off as well, or should be off shortly. I wonder if that one starts here at Newton Abbot. Nice. Right, 10 more seconds. Try and close the doors 30 seconds before departure. Or start to at least. Hop in. Right, let's get the DRA off and let's get the doors shut. That'll be Torre next, which is a bit of a gap to Torre. And let's go. We're off. We leave Newton Abbot behind. It's sort of, well, Newton Abbot is sort of the midpoint of the route. I mean, it's not, but it almost feels like a midpoint. It's closer to Exeter than Plymouth. I mean, if you look on the route map, it is quite much closer to Exeter than Plymouth. But it feels like a midpoint, but it's not. And it's also where the lines split off. So you've got the one down to Paignton and the one to Plymouth. I wonder what the speed will be across the points here. 40? guess that it's 40. What's that about this speed? Yeah, keep an eye on if the speed comes down for the points. Going about 35 at the moment. What's it going to be? Is it 40? Yeah, 40. And right across. And it will then go up to 60 as well in a second. I suppose the good thing about learning this route, if you are looking to do it HUDless, which is how we're playing it now, without any of the help and how far it is to the next station, you can almost break it into different bits. So I'd probably learn Paignton to Exeter first, and then learn the bit over the Devon Banks to Plymouth. Sort of break it up into different bits, which probably works a bit better. So we say goodbye to the South Devon main line here. That goes off here, up and over the hills to Plymouth. A really long way it is. And that's like another sort of 40 minutes to Plymouth. Whereas for us it's only about another 15 minutes and we'll be at Paignton. I know, thanks all for watching if you have made it this far in the video. Plenty more Train Sim World 6 to come, so feel free to stick around, leave a like, subscribe. Plenty more TSW. Plenty more of this route as well, as I like this route. Even on Train Sim Classic I played it quite a lot. It's one of my, one of the ones I like. And also, if you like this route, there's a couple of other routes I would recommend. Firstly, it would be the 5 Circle Line route. The 5 Circle Line is almost like a Scottish Riviera line. And it's diesel as well. Diesel, yes, coastal as well. So if you like this route, I would recommend the 5 Circle Line. And then the other route I'd recommend, albeit it's not great, I don't really like it, is West Cornwall Local. The scenery on that route is fairly similar to this route. Most of it's a bit like Newton Abbot to Plymouth, up and down the hills, steep gradients. Then coming out sort of Penzance way, you've got the coastal section. So yeah, a couple of routes. If you like this route, I'd recommend 5 Circle Line, because that's like a Scottish Riviera line. And West Cornwall Local, which is another West Country route. I just really hope, now this is out, I really hope they can modernise West Cornwall Local and sort of re-release it as a modern route. That would be incredible. Bring it back to life. Maybe even extend it to Plymouth. Although that would be a really long route. Oh, apologies everyone, I did try and get to the mic button there, but I was too slow. Sneeze beat me. Warning for a 45. That sun is sort of almost fully up now. And you get the warning for the 30, but the 30 is still ages away. Like the 30 is ages away, yeah, the 30. The 30 is almost as you're coming into the station, so that's ages. At least, well, it's a while yet. And you've got a bit of a gradient here as well, so we'll try and keep the power to get up and over. Climb our way up. It's quite steep this bit, just up here. so don't sort of lose too much speed. And then once you come off the curve, you then go forward a bit, turn to the left, and there's the 30. So yeah, the 30 is basically for going through Torre station. There you go, it straightens up a bit, turns to the left, and then you've got the 30 coming into the station. So it almost feels like the warning board is too far back, but I'd assume that's where it is in real life. But it seems a bit in advance. Still going about 42 at the moment. It's gradually turning to the left, so I'm going to start coming down for 30. I think on the 50s version of this route you've actually got a bit of a yard here at Torre, but in this you don't. Lots of change on this route. There's a 150 there as well. There's a 4-coach one as well, I think. Off that one goes. And we do stop fairly soon into the platform here. Yeah, this is Torre. Lovely. Here we are.
6:43, Great Western Railway service to Paignton, calling at Torquay and Paignton.
Can anyone vouch for the announcements? Are the announcements pretty spot on to the real thing? Never been down this way. Don't really know the Great Western announcements. Are the announcements pretty close to the real thing? Bang on time as well into here. And then Torquay next, which, I mean, as you can see from the track monitor, is less than a mile away. So they're quite close. And let's go. So up to 40. So once the back of the train passes that, just down into Torquay, and then from there it's then Paignton, and that's it. That's a stopper, the first stopper service we've done, the sort of full one. And then I would like to do a HST service as well at some point. They're over an hour as well. So that I might split that one in half, because that is a bit of a longer one than this. But yeah, HST over the Devon Banks. Cool, along we go. As we come down into Torquay, and you've got to be quite careful coming into Torquay, because as you can see it is quite steep coming down the hill, so you don't want to let your speed run away too much. I mean, you shouldn't have any. I mean, Torquay, the platform at Torquay is really long, but if you want to stop on the correct stop marker, just be careful. This is Torquay. I think we stopped down by the footbridge, I think. Don't think there's a stop marker for us before that. Don't don't think there is a 2 to 3, just on to 4 to 5 again. Oh, we can do that. Yeah, no, stop marker for 2 to 3. Photos. Lovely. Then onwards to Paignton, our final stop. And a lovely run. Probably my favourite run on this so far. Not that, I mean, the 166 is alright, but more just because of how it's looked with the sun coming up, etc. Oh, he gave up, didn't try and run for the doors. But the 166 is quite cool to do on here. An added bonus. Again, if you want to see the 166, you do need to own Great Western Express, which was the first ever UK route in the game. Cool. Let's speed up even more. So still 40, although it comes down to 15 miles per hour coming into Paignton. That's both the up and down platform. So both platforms it's 15 miles an hour. And I wonder, will we see a steam train at Paignton? As I do now have the layers installed as we're on the PS5 Pro for this. Will we see a steam train? We should do. We should see at least some of the coaches. So we're probably likely to get a yellow signal coming up. The sea is just over there to the left, proper close to the coast at the moment. Yeah, technically this is the Kingswear branch, not the Paignton branch. Because yeah, the modern day line stops at Paignton, but then there's a heritage railway, which is very fully connected to the national network, which then goes down to Kingswear. There's the beach just down there. Look at that. I thought there was a road down there. Not even a road. Actually right on the edge here. Brilliant. I thought there was like buildings down there. Never actually looked. Yeah, literally there's the beach again. Brilliant. So single yellow. We still sort of go around the corner and then sort of straighten up for Paignton, so we don't need to worry too much yet about the next signal. Again, the signal blocks on this route are quite long. Yeah, it should be for the approach control. I wonder what platform we'll come into. I think with both platforms you get approach control. Probably also for the level crossing as well. As you got a level crossing just coming into the station. Bit of breakage. Should be coming up to the signal now. You'll see the AWS magnet in the forefoot beforehand. The forefoot's the space between the two running rails. It's basically what we're on top of. We're on top of the forefoot. And there's the signal sort of hidden behind the hedge there. Oh no, there we go. So we're coming into the up platform, because if you go into the down platform, you have to then go into the sidings to then go back out this way. There we go, 15 miles an hour. You got the spotters up there on the bridge. I'm not going to toot the horn. Probably wake up some of the locals. There's no depot whistle on here either, I don't think. And this is the marvellous Paignton station. You see some Mark 1s over there. And if you want to see them, I think if you want to see the steam trains, you have to have West Somerset Railway and Peak Forest. So almost an hour after leaving Exeter, we're at Paignton, right on the English Riviera. It's a very nice journey, and sort of scenic all of the way when you go down the branch. There we go. Don't know why you get an announcement to say Paignton only. Steam trains, steam trains, steam trains. Oh no, none there at the moment. You got the Mark 1s. See if they're up at the site. No, they wouldn't be, would they? Or would they? Maybe they travel down from travel up from Kingswear. So no steam trains there at the moment. I've got them installed though. Yeah, just none there currently. Well, that is going to be it, everybody, for... let's still lock the doors. Not really too sure why, because this probably goes back out shortly. There we go, look at that, perfect. 28 miles, 57 minutes, not too bad. And this goes back out in about 20 minutes. Back to Exeter, or back to Teignmouth probably. Yeah, they're still bugged out on the CIS that says we're going to Paignton. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Links to usual places, Discord, PayPal, merch. So that was a run in the 166 from Exeter to Paignton. Again, you do need to own Great Western Express to get this train on this route. Links to usual places, Discord, PayPal, merch store, as well as our affiliate link for UK departure boards. See you all and take care. Bye guys.